texture maps to actually deform the geometry. So let's say we want to add some texture that we painted out of ZBrush, and we want to add this to our shaft, for instance, and we want to actually use that to maybe sculpt or deform some detail into there. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and bring in a texture. And now for the shaft and the handle, I've just gone ahead and subdivided those, filled them with a white, added the fast shader, and so we're ready to go. So under texture, I'm going to go ahead and go to import, and you'll find metal and wood here in your project files. So for the shaft, I'm just going to go ahead and choose wood and open it up. And so now that's added as a texture, so you can see it overwrites all of the poly paint. Don't worry, all you have to do is turn that off and all of your poly paint is still there. But let's go ahead and add that, and then you can see that we've got the shaft selected, so that's what we're really concerned about at this point. So let's go down to masking, and I want to mask by intensity. So go ahead and hit that. And now if I turn this texture off, you can see that there's still sort of a grayscale image of that, and that's actually a mask. Okay, so what I want to do is actually deform this based on this mask. Okay, so if I go ahead and go to inflate, alright, and choose maybe something like 20, you can see that that's actually taking that and pulling out that detail. The more I do it, the more detail's pulled out. If I go ahead and tick off that mask, you can see that that detail has now been actually sculpted into that surface. Now you need to have an appropriate number of polygons in there to be able to do that, but it's actually used that texture map to do that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on the handle. So go ahead and select the handle, and once we've got the handle selected, we need to import or use the metal image that we have. So go ahead and load the metal as a texture map. Alright, don't worry about any of the other pieces, just the piece that we're working on, which is the handle. Let's go ahead and go down to masking, mask by intensity, and let's go ahead and turn our texture off, and there you can see that mask. And let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll go ahead and inflate that, and let's try 20. You can see that that's starting to bring that out a little bit. If you want to go a little bit more, you can keep going until that pops out a little bit more. Okay, and then you can go ahead, hold down Control and drag to get rid of that mask, or you can just say clear, and now you can see the sculpted detail that's been added to our model, just very quickly using a texture. Alright, so the next thing we want to do in the next lesson, let's actually look at how we can start to take these textures that we've used, match them up with our sculpted detail, and then actually use those as a base to do more poly painting so that we can then get those back out to a texture. So we'll look at how we can start to do that in the next lesson.